Hey Algebra 1 students, this is the answer key for review number 1 from page M1-179 in your workbook. So this maintenance worker is looking at this water tank at a factory and she's recording the amount of water each day in the table. So day 1 there are 16,000 liters, day 2 it's decreased to 12,000, day 3 to 9,000. It is decreasing for sure. My first instinct when I looked at it, because I noticed it was decreasing, my first thought was like, oh hey look, that's going down 4,000, let's use that and move on. The problem is, if you pay more attention than I did, then it goes down by 3,000. And from here, it goes down an even different amount. Let's see. Yeah, then it goes down by 22,250. So it's not decreasing by a constant amount. My next thought is, well, maybe it can't be arithmetic or geometric until I look at the directions, and then it wants me to use a recursive formula. You could only write recursive formulas if you have an arithmetic or geometric sequence. That means there's something else going on to get from one term to the next other than subtraction. So the other thing could be division, because I am decreasing. So I need to think, what would I divide by to get to 12,000? So in my head, I'm thinking 16,000 divided by something that I don't know is equaling 12,000. We didn't realize how painful this question was when we initially assigned it, so we apologize. We didn't realize we were going to make you solve an equation like this. But one thing I can do, since I know I have divided by something, I can undo division by multiplication. So now I'm out of room over there, but I have 16,000 is equal to 12,000 times some number. If I want to know what that number is, I can undo multiplication again, but divide by a different term this time. So if I take 16,000 divided by 12,000, it gives me either a horrible decimal in my calculator, or, because I know how to change it back to a fraction, 4/3, which is weird. And again, we did not intend for this question to be as horrible and painful as it was, but it means each term is being divided by 4/3. The problem is we need a common ratio. We don't want division. It's fine to think that initially, but we need to think dividing by 4/3 is the same thing as multiplying. And the rule is you're multiplying by its reciprocal, which means I now know my common ratio is 3/4. So a lot of work for that. But now I can write a recursive formula for this pattern, so I can say it is geometric. So the nth term, any term in this geometric formula, can be found by going to the n-1 term, the term right before it, and multiplying it by 3/4. And so I'm going to use that to find for my 5th day. This is the answer to part A, by the way. So if I want my 5th term, my 5th day, I need to go to the 5 minus 1st term and multiply by 3/4. The 4th term is 6750. I'm multiplying that by 3/4. And then I'm going to pick up my calculator and do 6750 times 3/4. It's getting 5,062.5. So that's a bit weird that it is, I'm checking something. It is a decimal, but you could do an improper fraction. It's a terminating one, so I'm just going to leave it like that. The explicit formula, I can still use my common ratio, but I'm basically saying now I just want to jump to this answer. I don't want to do all this work. So we always start with our initial term. Where did the sequence start? And say, okay, we need to multiply by that common ratio. The number of times is the term minus 1. So if I use this for the 10th term, a lot of people miss this on the test, by the way. If I want the 10th term, plug in the number 10 for n. So it should just be 10 minus 1. So it's to the 9th power. So I'm multiplying by 3/4 to the 9th power, essentially. My calculator is not capable of turning that back into a fraction. So I'm going to round it. I'm going to say it's approximately 1,201.4 liters, because that's what I was actually talking about for this tank. So this especially is rather unpleasant. We didn't realize it was that unpleasant because this book tends to hide unpleasant problems in the practice. Sorry about that. I'll have review number 2 in a different video.